Every year after budget, we hear two reactions. One says nothing special, and the other says this will change everything. But the real question is this budget trying to solve? And does it solve it well? So, the Union Budget 2026-27 is not designed to excite the headlines, it is designed to correct the direction. So, the core idea of this budget is at its core, this budget accepts a hard truth. India's biggest challenge today is not about the growth, it is sustaining growth in an unstable global environment. So, the global trade is slowing, the supply chains are uncertain, technology is changing production, and energy and minerals are becoming the strategic weapons. So, this budget responds to that reality not with the populism but with the capacity building. So, why the government pushed the capex again? Some people ask, why does the government keep increasing the capital expenditure? Because the capital expenditure is the only spending that creates a multiplier across the economy. When the government spends on rail, ports, freight corridors, and the urban infrastructure, it creates jobs, reduces the logistic cost, improves the productivity, and attract the private investments. So that's why the increase to rupees 12.2 lakh crores, which actually matters. So it is not just for today's stock market reaction, but it's for India's competitiveness 5 years from now. So, strategic sectors are not the random choices. Yes. So, look closely at the sectors receiving focused support: biopharma, semiconductors, textiles, MSMEs, logistics, clean mobility. So, these are not at all really a random announcements. So these are the sectors where India can either become globally relevant or remain permanently dependent. So biopharma Shakti is, for example, is not about only one industry. It is about the healthcare security, exports, and the research and development capability. And also, why skilling and education got quiet attention? Yes, this budget quietly does something very important, that is, it connects education with employability. Yes, AVGC labs in schools, hospitality training, sports ecosystems, tourism skilling. So, these reflects a shift from degree centric thinking to a skill centric growth. So these reflect a shift from degree centric to the skill centric, where India doesn't suffer from unemployment alone, it suffers from the unemployability. And let's come to the main point where farmers, AI, and the regional balance. Yes. So instead of announcing loan waivers or subsidies, the budget experiments with something smarter and the decision support. AI based agricultural advisory, logistic corridors in eastern India, tourism led growth in the northeast. So, this is the decentralized development, not only the Delhi centric planning. Yes, it acknowledges the India's next growth wave cannot come from metros alone. So now let's come to the tax compliances, which is a change in attitude. Yes, the most under discussed part of this budget is the tone towards the taxpayers. Simplified tax laws, reduced litigations, decriminalization of minor offenses. So, this signals a shift from a control based governance to the truth and the trust based compliances. That cultural change matters more than the rate cuts. So let's come to the fiscal discipline, which is the invisible strength for the Indian development. Yes, here is the most uncomfortable fact where you can't build a strong nation on a weak finances. Yes, despite increasing spending, the government has reduced fiscal deficit and a debt ratio. So this is not at all accidental. It tells the investors, rating agencies, and other markets that India values credibility. So the final verdict of in my perspective is Union budget of 2026-27 will not give the instant applause, but it does something more important. It aligns India's spending with India's future risks. It bets on the infrastructures over initiatives, skills over stops, and discipline over drama. Whether you agree with every decision or not, but this budget deserves to be understood before it's judged, because this is not a budget made for tomorrow morning. This budget is for the next decades. So the budget should be very strong enough now. Strong economies are not built by the loud budgets, they are built by consistent, boring, and the disciplined ones. Thank you.